And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the beginning here of the LiuLi Cup Grand Finals 2024 Group Stage, Group A. I'm course ZvP with you. I'm joined by these amazing players, by other people in the chat, by my plushies as well. Welcome, one and all, to Group A. Here we have four amazing players. We have Gumiho, Oliveira, Rogue, and Reynor. And these four players are going to be duking it out in a GSL Group Stage format for two players to make it through into the playoffs. Oh boy, we are jumping into game number one. We're jumping into our fresh best of three. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the Italian Zerg player, the blue Zerg. It is, for Basilisk, Reynor. There we go. And in the bottom... Oh, wait, no! Wait, what's happening? Sorry, that was Oliveira. In the bottom right-hand corner, playing Terran. It's Reynor. They're crazy. God damn it. My brain just assumed, yeah, you know, we have the Zerg, we have the Terran, everything's as it should be. This is a ZvT, but Oliveira is off racing as Zerg, and Reynor is off racing as a Terran. If you're in the chat... Oh! Okay, there's a little latency going on, but if you're in the chat, predictions are going to be open. Place your bets on who you think will take the series. Best of luck in the chat, as again, Oliveira and Reynor, they have both agreed to the shenanigans, to the nonsense, baby. I mean, as of late, we've been seeing a lot of players in a way off race, or at least dip their toes into other races and have a lot of success. Obviously, Reynor's played a lot of Protoss, competed as a lot of Protoss to avoid ZvZ matchups. Clem has done the same, avoiding TVT and playing Protoss and taking down some big names. And here we have Oliveira now playing Zerg and Reynor playing Terran. I don't know how good Oliveira's Zerg is, I'll be honest. I'm a little bit concerned. What I can say, though, is that we actually have seen Reynor defeat Clem's Zerg. We've seen Reynor embrace late game TVZ and go mass Ghost and take down some big Zerg names. So yeah, Reynor, his off race is pretty good. It is GM level. It is around, I would assume, around 6k. We'll see how good Oliveira's Zerg is, though. That's the real question. How does Oliveira compare to Reynor? That's gonna be the big question that I pose here to these two players. But here we go. Let's go. Oh no, let us go. Oh, there's times where he's really playing for fun. Kind of. If you recall, Oliveira, he did make a post. He did make a statement that if StarCraft 2 was not going to be returning for EWC, then he would retire. So it's important to kind of not take that out of context and not assume that he is just retiring here and now, then and there. It is off of whether or not there is going to be an Esports World Cup. So there is a bit of a kind of caveat to that. So we'll see. We shall see. I'm sure that's also why Oliveira did play Protoss yesterday, and why he's playing Zerg here is because he isn't necessarily devoting as much time as he used to. Here we go. As we are going to be settling in. We also saw Cyril and Showtime play with opposite races. I think that was during the Basilisk Big Bang Bouts, like a month ago or something, if that's what you're referring to. For now, though, we are going to be settling in. Yesterday, he's retiring regardless. Oh, okay. I'd have to take you on your word for that, just because from my understanding, it was whether or not EWC was going to be coming back. I don't know if he since has like clarified that he is going to be retiring regardless. If so, that is definitely sad to hear. Definitely a big Oliveira fan. He is a very good player, and would love to see more of him. But for the time being, Reaper does dip into the main. Going to be picking up 2 Lings. Not bad. 2 Lings going to be going down. I'm pulling back out. And so far, Oliveira, he is keeping up. I mean, did lose 2 Lings, but hasn't lost any workers. Getting his 3rd base, taking the forward 3rd here against Reynor. And behind this, Reynor getting to his own 1-1-1. Interesting. A much more aggressive build here out of Reynor. Something that I should emphasize. Oh, as we... There we go. So just messed with the audio. But something that I should emphasize here is that Reynor, he is going to be delaying his 3rd CC. So 3rd CC is going to be delayed. Reynor is going to be a little more active. He's going to be a little more aggressive. He's going to be in the face of Oliveira. Ooh, and already takes down the Tumor, escapes with the Reaper. Very nice value, very nice trade so far here by Reynor. And with this more aggressive build, he can follow with additional Hellion production, with earlier Banshee production, and with a committed move out early on. So hyper aggression here by Reynor. We'll see if Oliveira can keep up. Here we go. I think it was more or less a show match. Yeah. It was the Basilisk show match. As you see, Reynor going to be rotating around over towards the right hand side. Likewise, Lair is on the way for Oliveira. A bit of an earlier Lair timing here. That was around like what, 4:10-ish Lair timing, so very early. I'm curious if that is with purpose. Again, Oliveira, he isn't necessarily main race historic, so I don't really know if he is going to be committing as hard into something earlier like 2-base Muta, earlier Gases, earlier Spire, into something like a Link Queen Nidus all in. I'm curious what the early Lair entails, if anything. Hellions they poke in. Banshee soon to arrive. It's going to be a Reynor to break through. Also, as we settle into this, a big shout out to Baby Links as well in the chat. Thank you so much. Did occur during the countdown screen, but thank you so much for resubscribing for 32 months. That's a lot of months. That's a lot of months, 32 months here. Subscribing to the CranKy Ducklings. Thank you so much for the support. We do appreciate it. As the Banshee does hit the natural. Getting a couple of drones. 2-3 drones going down already, getting up to 4 drone kills. And remember, Cloak is still available. Oh, and Reynor, he is picking Oliveira apart, picking off those workers, diving into the mineral line. Could have gone for the third, but actually going towards the natural. It does head towards the natural base instead. Workers, they are getting roasted. Lings, they attempt to counterattack. Back home, there's a full wall. Oh no, they're lining up. The drones, they do line up for a moment there, and that's going to be 14 worker kills. This is borderline game-ending damage. This is game-ending damage at this point. Yeah, 20 drone kills in total. 22 workers go down. And at this level of play, that is just too many losses too quickly. And we are still not done. The Banshee is still wreaking havoc. 27 workers. 28. 29. Can he get 30? He can. Oh, God. Exactly 30 drone kills. Almost 2 mineral lines worth of workers go down. And with that, Reynor has a massive advantage, has a massive lead. From here, we can, of course, work towards our stim timing. And sure, on the one hand, Reynor, his third CC is delayed. That is true. It is a delayed third CC out of Reynor, but at this point, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that it is delayed. He is far enough ahead. From here, he can start working towards his eventual 1-1 timing. As he breaks out and secures his third. Just waiting for it to kick in. Meanwhile, Oliveira back at home, he's going to be able to re-drone, resaturate, get into his own 1-1. Oliveira, he is stuck at home. Outside of going for an all-in, like he's going to have a really hard time recovering. It's going to take a very long time for that to occur. And Reynor, he can just commit. We'll keep an eye on his racks count. So far, he's only on 5. He could throw down extra racks behind this and go for a 3-base all-in. But to be honest, he doesn't really need to. Like, he can kind of pick and choose how he wants to approach this, and there is no wrong answer necessarily for Reynor. He is far enough ahead. He stims in, takes down 2 queens. Gets a 3rd queen as well. And he can just take down every king. There's just nothing to defend. There's just nothing here at this point. Yeah, the Marines, they snowball out of control. They don't even have 1-1. They just have stim. And they take down almost every single queen. Once again, brutal losses here for Oliveira. He has to resaturate. He has to rebuild. We can see a second factory on the way for Reynor. The second factory tells us that most likely Reynor's going to be taking extra gases. Interesting. From here, you can expand. Yep, there we go. 4th CC on the way. So it's just a 5-rack setup into a 4th base, into a macro game, into a longer game state. But again, like Reynor, he can do what he wants at this point. I think someone in the chat said it was going to be an A-rack. This is not an A-rack. This is not a 3-base all-in. He's just settling into a longer game state. But yeah, if he moves out, I don't think he can be stopped. He cannot be stopped. Not like this. So from here, he can move out. 2-2 starts up. 1-1 is now done here for Reynor. As he does set up here at the 3rd. And from here, he can just steam in. We do see Oliveira setting up a surround. He comes in from behind, but alas, won't quite get much done. Bailings, they do roll in. I go to the splits. Oof. They force to make up. Okay, Oliveira, he's holding. He is holding on. Reynor taking his gases, finishing up his second factory. 4th CC finishing up as well. Oliveira, he is making his way towards the main. Sorry, Reynor even. My brain keeps thinking Terran is Oliveira. God damn it. But yeah, double jump into the main. Meanwhile, going for a split pushing on the right-hand side. And Oliveira just doesn't have the numbers to defend both locations at once. He's going to try to, though. 2 queens go down. Nice trades here by Reynor. Bailey's are in the main. Not the worst connections, but there's still a lot of IO left over. Oh, nicely done. Across the map, getting 8 SCV kills. Oliveira getting some counter damage. Let's go. Meanwhile, 2-2 is almost done. So, Reynor, he can move out and hit that 2-2 timing. As he has yet to really commit with his tanks. And Oliveira is doing what he can. Denies mining at the 4th. Delays the move outs. At least does attempt to. But the reality is Reynor, he's about to max. He's about to max out. And soon he can stamp, baby. Then he can win. 3-3 starts up. Reynor just securing his 4 bases. From here can start up a 5th. Get into a 5th CC. And he may just opt to wait to max out at this point. Just playing it safe. Rotating over. Speaking of, there we go. He is now at 192 supply. Pushing onto creep can still be quite daunting. Oh, but the mine shots, oof, they are going to be brutal. Take down most of the lings. Or majority of lings. See Oliveira tending us around. Reynor, he's still chosen to leave supply back at home as well. Bear that in mind. Like, this isn't his entire army. Just moving out with a small force. Oh god, Jesus. As the Ling Realm makes its attempt to get shut down, GG gets called as Oliveira. He's far too behind, and Reynor takes game number 1. Whew. GG. Reynor does take a lead in the series, and we'll see if Oliveira can bounce back. What I will say about game 1 is that honestly it was decided by the initial move outs. The 1-1-1 Hellion Banshee harass did end the game. If you remember, 30 drone kills. It's 30 workers went down to the Hellion and Banshee harass. That was game then and there. You cannot really recover from that point. Just too many losses too quickly there, and alas, in the end, GG, well played. Reynor just snowballed out of control. Oliveira could not recover. There were maybe some opportunities for maybe some Ling run bys or some Bailing drops or something creative or something crazy like that. But here we go. So Oliveira, he's letting Reynor know. So the next game is going to be on Abyssal Reef, and Oliveira, he's letting Reynor know that Zerg cannot win on Abyssal, so he's going to be switching to a different race, which is also true. Kappa. So game 2 is going to be on Abyssal Reef, and I believe Oliveira, he's switching to Protoss. There we go. He is switching to Protoss. And I do understand. Imagine playing TVZ on Abyssal. God, no. So he does switch to Protoss. And here we go. We're getting into game 2. And in the top left-hand corner, we have Oliveira, the Chinese Protoss player for Weibo Gaming. The zoom, papi. The zoom. And in the bottom right-hand corner, still sticking with Terran, we have the Italian player for Basilisk. It is Reynor. Here we go. So we go from ZvT to PvT instead. And we'll see how Oliveira will approach this. Now, for those that are curious, the remarks that Oliveira had about Abyssal Reef are specifically related to the base layout and how defendable these bases are. What I'm referring to here is that your natural, your third, your fourth, and your fifth base locations are very easily taken and very easily fortified. As a result, we have seen a lot of kind of turtle play really excel on this map, whether it's from the side of Terran, whether it's from the side of Protoss, but just securing this base or this corner of the map, maxing out, taking up as well into Sky Toss or into like a mech ghost composition, and then snowballing from there. That has been the go-to in a lot of these, at least Zerg related matchups. In a TVP, it's a little bit different. You are able to be more assertive, more aggressive. I'm really curious to see how Oliveira opens up, whether he opens up Stargate or Twilight Council. They both have more aggressive options here, but I would imagine Stargate play is going to be the go-to on a map as large as Abyssal Reef. It allows you to be aggressive, to harass, I should say, to deny drop play, and to get into earlier tech like Colossus production. So we'll see what Oliveira goes for. But now just a gate Saber expand. And Reynor going to be opening up with, I believe, a single gas geyser. No, sorry, two gas, sorry. Double gas opener out of Reynor, so he's going for a Rax into factory, into a delayed CC. So Reynor is being more tech heavy, and again, we have yet to determine the tech of Oliveira, as the Cyber Core just finished. What is it going to be? This patch has solved turtling. Kappa. Oh, the Kappas. Oh, the Kappas. I mean, this is just often vetoed. It's just a vetoed map. Not vetoed here, though, is an interesting thing to take note of. As we have our take of choice, going to be a Twilight Council opener out of Oliveira. It is going to be Twilight Council into Blink. And we'll see how many gateways get thrown down from the side of Oliveira. Meanwhile, Zealot will delay the CC. Does poke in. Does delay. But is going to be dealt with. Nice clean up out of Reynor. Now, again, with his double gas opening, you can go into a faster factory, into faster starport. You can go into Banshee play, into a more committed Widowmine drop. We'll see how Reynor does approach this as his CC is on the way. Kappa. Commences on the way. Early tank production. Okay, we have our answer. That again is very early tank here for Reynor. So early tank production. This could be leading into an early tank drop with a medevac out of the starport. Meanwhile, Oliveira, he throws down 2 more gateways. That's going to be a 3-gate setup. 3-gate blink. Very safe play by Oliveira. With this, he can reinforce, he can move out, he can gain map control, and he can push in towards the bases of Reynor. And speaking of medevacs, there it is. The first medevac is on the way. So Reynor is going for an early push. And Reynor's hope is to catch Oliveira being greedy, but as we've seen, Oliveira did open 3 gates. So very safe play out of Oliveira. This is going to be in favor of the Protoss, but it also comes down to how early Oliveira engages with the army. What I mean by that, Reynor, he's soon going to move out, and Oliveira, ideally, he wants to be out on the map to delay the push and to force early sieges and to pick off early units. As the Medic does move out, we have Liberator production behind this, so tanks and Liberators all on the way. Now, I had assumed that Reynor was going to be moving out with that early tank and moving out with everything, but no, he's only moving out with that 1 medevac drop of Marines. The tanks are being left at home, for now. Oliveira taking his 3rd. Reynor amassing his army. Oliveira likewise moving out as well. This means that Oliveira doesn't really have much at home to defend. Here comes that medevac drop. You know, Reynor, he's secure at the natural. He's got 2 tanks. Oliveira, he's going for the dive. Oh, the mine shot. Oh my god, mine shot is not quite going to go. Whew. Clutch control here out of Oliveira. Takes down the first tank. You know, Marines, they do slip into the main. They force the recall. Oliveira, he recalls back. And here comes that main push. Now, thankfully, Oliveira, he is slowing it down. Oh. Gets a tank, picks off a couple of Marines. Again, just buying time, slowing down the push. Back at home, Oliveira, he's able to reinforce with extra warp-ins. Oh, diving on the tank. That was a crazy dive out of Oliveira. It's going to cost him some stalkers. Did get the tank. Reynor, he's down to 1. 1 tank left, and you're still dropping into the main. 5 probe kills already. 5 worker kills. Oliveira still trying to catch reinforcements. Delays the move out. And Reynor, he does end up getting past. He's headed towards the 3rd. Wants to knock it down. Gets 9 probe kills. And Oliveira's not quite ready. He's not quite in position. Reynor actually doesn't commit. He turns around. Okay. Does turn back around. He's racing back home, and Oliveira, he's held. Has held on. Did take some losses against the drop plane against the Liberator, that is true, but he got some very good value engaging in the middle of the map. Remember, he took down 2 tanks, picked off so many Marines, and Oliveira holds. With that, Oliveira now is going to be able to get his 3rd base up and running. Is getting saturated. Oh, can I do... There we go. Is getting it saturated. Oliveira, he pokes in. Reynor landing his 3rd. His 3rd base is getting up. Oliveira, can he find a tank? Oh, he can! He's going to get at least 1. 1 tank goes down. He gets the 2nd tank as well. Takes out all the Marines. Boys are being pulled. Or boys going to be saturating. But Oliveira, once again, he trades well. Picks off some high-tech units. 1 more tank coming in. Oliveira, he wants that tank. Ooh, doesn't quite get it. Viking survives. Oliveira poking in, but Last doesn't really have enough to keep pushing, as there are so many Marines. He does pull away. Behind this, Oliveira taking into charge, into Storm, +1. Getting to his splash damage. With these reinforcements, Oliveira, he can still try to pick off that tank. Bearing in mind, Stim just began. Without Stim, Reynor, he can't really punish any kind of dive. I mean, he can with a large enough Marine army, but still, it's possible. Possible for Oliveira. For now, though, he backs off. He retreats, getting a 4th base, and now we're gearing up towards the mid-game. We've had enough early game aggression. We're calming things down. Reynor stabilizing on 3 bases, and Oliveira is doing the same on 4. So we're headed towards that mid-game. Hello, Shema, Papi Shema. Este Cashin. Good to see you. So we are going to be setting up. And we'll see how well Reynor can deal with something like Storm. As Storm is now done, Reynor likewise is making 4 ghosts at a time. That's a lot of ghosts. The ghost count is building up. And we'll soon see our players move out. I mean, again, we are loading into Abyssal Reef. So I said earlier how defendable these bases are, and that's still applicable here to TvP as well. So both players just getting their 4th bases. We could get up to our 5th base. I mean, as I say, that 5th base now on the way for Oliveira. And both players are going to max out. Headed towards maxing out. And depending on how certain things do go, if Oliveira does recognize how defendable Reynor is and does recognize that he can't quite break him, or if he can't quite break him, then we could see Sky Toss. For now, Oliveira committing with his ground army. I'm not too confident he can break through. Gonna poke in towards the natural. There's plenty of ghosts in position. As Oliveira, he rotates towards that fourth base. Takes down the Widow Mines. High Templar looking for a storm. Ooh, first High Templar goes down. Massive pickup. There's another Templar behind this. Oh, the army's getting caught out. EMP as well. Where are the storms? And 2 Templar full. Very nice EMPs out of Reynor. Shuts down Oliveira. He has to retreat. He has to pull away. Looking for a better engage. Reinforcing our Templar have arrived. Ooh. Just barely they hold on. Nice storm. Storm of the Bayou. Reynor being chased down. And there are still 3 more storms behind this, at least 3. And with that, Oliveira gets behind the mineral line. Storms coming in. Oh, they mainly zone away. No major connections. Oh, another storm will land, though. And with that, Oliveira, he's running out of storms. They were okay towards the end, but didn't quite get the damage he was hoping for. And Reynor holds. Reynor, he holds on. You can see that 5 High Templar went down, 2 Immortals, 26 Zealots. Oliveira, he does fall in supply. He was hoping for more damage. Oh, here comes... No! Here comes the Storm Jump. Storm does land. Oliveira, he's kind of making this work. Chasing this back. Can this 3 more High Templar? They cannot quite break the planetary. So Reynor, he holds the line. Does hold the line, taking up, getting into his fusion core. That's going to be for Liberator range. Oliveira still looking for a way in, but again, trying to break a defending player. I mean, it goes both ways, whether it was Reynor being the aggressor or Oliveira. But trying to push up into the natural here, it's not easy. It's just a narrow ramp, a narrow choke point. Reynor has the high ground. Oliveira cannot push in. And now we can see Oliveira taking up into a second robo, into a bay, into Colossus production, into disruptors. But it may just be too late. As Reynor's max, Reynor has a more efficient army. And going for his drop across the map. Zell say move command in. The drops are deflected. Oliveira, he responds well. Oh. Catching a full medevac. Let's go. That does go down. Oliveira, he holds back at home. Jeez, that's a lot of High Templar. that's a massive spread of what? 6 High Templar. One gets sniped, so does the other. That's gonna be 3 High Templar pulling. Massive storm on the army. That was a brutal storm. There's still a couple more left behind this. At least 2 more storms. But Oliveira, he lost so many High Templar in the process. Disruptors have arrived. Oliveira taking another base, another expansion. Getting a 7th base, Jesus. Trying to catch other ghosts. Nova's going to be zoning away. Up! Not quite connecting. And again, Oliveira, he's just running out of high-tech units here. Bleeding out another disruptor. 1, 2 disruptors go down. Reynor still maxed. Liberator production has finally begun. That's really what we're waiting for, the libs. The freedom. The freedom is coming. It's on the way. As we catch up the High Templar once again. And the Gateway army remaining. And it's kind of like a weird game state where, on the one hand, Oliveira has been he hasn't really been fighting too well. He's been losing Disruptors and High Templar time and time and time again, but he's also on 7 bases. he's on a 7-base economy. He can afford this. He can afford to be inefficient. And he's kind of getting away with it here. They'll take counter-attack across the map. They get into a mineral line. They force friendly fire. Oof. 9 SCVs going down. 10 SCVs even. Army gets forced back. The Liberators have arrived. Oliveira once again trying to push his way in. Into tank fire, into Liberators as well. This is a rough fight here for Oliveira. Doesn't quite break through. Again, just ramming his face against a brick wall this entire time. And Reynor, he will not be broken. He knows the power of Abyssal Reef. just defend. Just defend on 5 bases. You're fine. Now, I should emphasize as well that Reynor taking a 6th base is going to be difficult. Oliveira is getting away with it because Oliveira has map control. So even though the 6th and 7th base for Oliveira are exposed, like they're being untouched for the time being. Just because of how aggressive Oliveira is being. And at the same time, Reynor, his would-be 6th base is actually going to be delayed, and we'll see if he can hold on to it. Can Reynor expand? Can they get a 6th? Tank goes down. Liberators are exposed. And they're being targeted down one after the other. Liberators are going down. Decent storms. Lib kind of gets reset. Reynor coming in from behind. He gets us around, catches out every single Disruptor. Ay. Disruptors do fall. Colossus as well. And Oliveira here overextended. Losing far too much here. Down to 1. Colossus down to 0. Just Stalkers and Zealots left. And from here, Reynor, he can stim, and he can win. Again, Oliveira, up to a certain point, he was able to afford these trades and afford these losses, but not quite like this. Base goes down. From here, Reynor could try to force his way up into the natural, but now just peeling up towards the 6th, towards the 7th. Oh, he has options. Just standing here against the Gateway Army. Why not? And Oliveira, he barely has an army left. Barely an army standing. Hold on, I'll try to, I know the audio is a little bit low. There we go. We'll fix that up. So as you see, Reynor stimming into the natural, takes down a Colossus. 24 probe kills. I don't know if Reynor has actually scouted the 7th base. So far, it is towards the top right. So far, undisturbed. Doesn't quite have eyes on it. As Reynor is going for a split push. He does get eyes on the southern base. Trying to sneak up on it. Once again, Oliveira, I mean, he has a bank to work with, and he does warp an extra High Templar. Nice storms! Storms connect. Bases are going down. Storm gets baited out. Oliveira still trying to recover. He's on 3, soon to be 4 Colossus. Let's go. Doesn't have the largest army, but the quality is there. Reynor just pulling Oliveira apart. Still is yet to scout top right. Takes on 10 workers. Yeah, this base here, it's Oliveira, he's gone away with so much. Unscattered ninja base. I mean, not even a ninja base, but Reynor didn't quite check. And the expansion is keeping Oliveira in this. He's almost remaxed. He's getting there. Meanwhile, Reynor finally gets his own stick. Denying the Nexus. Gets eyes on the Prism. And if Oliveira's not too careful, he will actually drag the army towards that fresh mining base. And better fight for Oliveira. Takes down the Bio. Reynor, he saw the transferring workers. He knows. Now he should be aware. Oliveira still in this. Let's go double Prism. The double drop micro. Let's go. I mean, he catches out the Ghost. Ghosts are going down. Oliveira chasing him back. Reynor in a bit of trouble here. Storm goes off. Okay. Storm goes off. CC under fire. This 6th base is going to go down. I believe this is the floated over natural. Not bad. And again, that top right base, I mean, it's carried Oliveira back into this. Just left completely untouched for the past couple of minutes. Now Storm's going to be popping up. No more libs here for Reynor. He's down to, what, 2 Ghosts? And the Colossus, they're just mowing down the army. Is there enough support? It's close. 1 Colossus goes down. Zelta coming to reinforce, and Oliveira, has he done it? Has he barely done it? Takes down another Ghost. Liberator has arrived. Reynor, he's holding. He's holding on. High reinforcements, they took a little bit too long here for Oliveira. It takes too long. Going back to Colossus once again. He has 2, soon to be 4 Colossus. Jesus. Thankfully, Reynor is going back into Viking production, so he will have an answer to those Colossus. Or at least a better answer. Yeah, so we do have a bit of a lull period here. Oliveira, he backs off, remaxes, so does Reynor. Oliveira, he gets eyes on the northern base, catches out all these transferring workers. Not bad. 14 SCVs go down. Oliveira pushing in, takes down a CC. Going for the planetary as well. I mean, it has been very scrappy. Very scrappy. Reynor, he just wants the 6th base. I believe this is... I mean, the natural did go down earlier. Is this the main floated over? Potentially. We haven't seen the main base in quite some time. Actually, this looks like the 3rd. The 3rd did float over. Reynor, he's burned through his bank. Running out of money. Oliveira built up to 4 Colossus. Let's say 5, soon to be 7 Disruptors here. So we have 2 more on the way. Although he rotates, takes down the planetary. Massive pickoff. And again, Reynor, he can't afford these losses. And SCV's going down. Oliveira pushing in towards the natural. Reynor out of position. Threading the production. Finally, top right goes down as well. Trading a base for a base. Well, the Colossus are left exposed. And the army stems in. The first Colossus should go down. Oh, the Vikings will barely bring it down. And a bit of an awkward fight here for Oliveira. Throws away all his zealots. And he might just have to recall the hell out of here. Can he hold on? The Novas! Nova sent away. Reynor can't push up that ramp. Not like this. No, the Nova goes off. Takes down the Marauders. The Novas, they just don't stop. Massive connection on the Ghost. And Reynor came with the production. Oliveira's came with the production. Reynor at the same time takes down 2 bases. Pushing towards the natural. Disruptors are getting low. Another Nova goes off. Oh, takes down the Ghost. Yeah, final Ghost going down. Reynor, he's running out of steam, running out of army. At the same time, the Novas, they keep going up. Oliveira, he's handling his balls well. Very well. With that, he might finally be cleaned up across the map, but Oliveira, he holds. He holds, takes down more bases. Reynor, he's on a 1 base economy. A 1.5 base economy, really. As Reynor has to lift another CC. Trying to re-expand. So Oliveira, he zones Reynor away. Does zone away, never goes off. Splits it too late. Oliveira just buying time for more warp-ins. For more reinforcements. They are coming in. Not the Nova zones. Oliveira, he just dives on the army. Colossus, they finally have arrived. Remember, there's no more Vikings. No more Vikings. Disruptors, they're going to get picked off one after the other. Ooh, a bit of an overextension. Miscontrol here out of Oliveira. Throws away his Disruptors. Yeah, a little bit overconfident upon getting those Colossus. But despite that, reinforcements, they have arrived. Oliveira can keep pushing in. Reynor, his supply is inflated thanks to all these medevacs. So a lot of medevacs here for Reynor. And he barely has a ground army. But he does get another base up and running. He's resaturating that center expansion. He has top right. Again, both players, they're both on like around 2 or just under 2 base economies. Very scrappy. It could still go either way. There is a world where Oliveira overextends and loses these Colossus even. I mean, it has already happened in this game. Going for the mineral line. So let's say collapse on the Marauders. Stalkers going down. Reynor tries to stem in. But the Colossus, they stand the ground. They still trade well. That was a kill on the CC. Now the 3rd base is floating over. Or there was a CC next to the 3rd. Which is floating over as we speak. Reynor still just trying to maintain himself. I mean, his army's very cheap. It's a very cheap army. Just keep making man with gun. He's getting there. Zealots, they do hit the northern base. Mining is denied. At the same time, Reynor setting up his own drop as well. Zealots, they get 4 CVs. Oliveira likewise trying to rebuild as well. The Viking count is getting high. A lot of Vikings. Reynor going for another run by. Yo, we have Storms. We have High Templar. 2 High Templar morph in. And I think I favor Oliveira in a head-on fight. I mean, it's going to be close. It's going to come down to the engagements, to whether or not the Vikings are able to shut down the Colossus ahead of time. How good the splits are. How good the EMPs are. So Reynor, this time he maintains his economy. Saves the base. Saves the mineral line. Reynor building up more ghosts. Oliveira pushing in. Here come the storms. Up! Prism on fire. Ooh, when the prism goes down. High Templar, they do get unloaded. High Templar are saved. There's still 3 more storms. The storms they pop off here on the Vikings. But the Colossus are going down. One of them barely survives. Nova goes off in the mineral line. Oh my god, massive connection. Nova goes off. The base gets broken. That's going to be a kill on the CC. Reynor's floating over to another base. He's floating his base over towards the northern expansion. I think that was the main. As Oliveira chases down Reynor. I do think that Oliveira has done it. Oh, the storms are brutal. And storms on the army. GG gets called, and Oliveira, he ties up the series. We are going to the ace match. GG. GG, well played. The series is going to be tied up. We're going all the way to the ace match here. Again, very, very tense back and forth here between Oliveira and Reynor. Very scrappy game state. We saw that Oliveira was being very stubborn in a sense, where he was trying to he was just constantly trying to break Reynor's defenses at his 5th, if you recall, and it wasn't really paying off too well. But if you remember, he was on 7 bases. Like Oliveira, he was on a 7-base economy. His 7th base was kept hidden as well. Reynor, he never scouted, or at least it took him a very long time to scout, very long time to punish. I'll be honest, if Reynor had seen that base earlier, like 5 minutes earlier, he would have been able to knock it down, and then he probably wins. He probably wins then and there. If you remember, that northern base did carry Oliveira, and it allowed him to recover. He was down like 30, 40 supply, but he was able to catch back up and make a game out of it, bring himself back in. GG. GG, well played. Whew. With that, we are going to the ace match. Let's go. Oh, Reynor saying Protoss Shiva. Oh, let's go, the trifecta. Okay. Oh, not quite, I should say. We're going back to what we do best, I suppose. Oliveira, he's going back to Zerg. Game 1, he played Zerg. Game 2, Protoss. Game 3, Zerg once again. And I think Reynor's going to commit to Terran. Wait. Hold up. Hold up. Hold on. PvP? Maybe. We might have a PvP instead, as both players have picked okay, hold on. No. They're still deciding. What's it gonna be? Reynor, okay. Here we go. We have Oliveira picking Protoss, it looks like, and Reynor is picking Zerg. Okay. Oh, wait. They're still deciding. Okay, so Reynor, he's playing Zerg, and Oliveira, he has agreed to play Protoss. Okay. PvZ, let's go. Oh, no. Can Reynor survive against Oliveira's Protoss? We're here to find out, as we're loading into the ace match. Here we go. Not seeing players going off race to have crazy strategies / moves. Kind of. I mean, they played relatively standard that last game. A little bit just came down to like mistakes from both sides. And because of that, just a scrappy game state, as they were, yeah. So both animals. But here we go in the left-hand corner. We have the Protoss player. It is Oliveira. In the top right, we have the Italian Zerg for Basilisk, Reynor. Here we go. But yeah, got very scrappy last game. I think it also shows us a little bit as well that possibly Oliveira's off-race and Reynor's off-race are quite comparable in skill. But Reynor has now opted to pick his main race instead. No play. Reynor, he does not want to leave this ace match to chance. Switching to Zerg. And I'm curious to see how Oliveira will approach this as well. Now, as I mentioned before, I don't know the level of Oliveira's Protoss. We did feature him against Zaun yesterday, and Oliveira, he almost defeated Zaun 2-1. Like, it was crazy. Like, in the PvP matchup, Oliveira, he had some cheeky all-ins and some cheeky builds and some crazy proxies. That is true, but this is a different matchup. So we'll see how Oliveira performs against the Zerg. See how he does perform. As we have our hatch gas pool opener here out of Reynor, nothing too crazy. Oliveira does confirm with a probe scout, he is aware. Back at home is going for the Nexus, so just gates into Nexus into Cyber core. Everything so far looking normal. So far. We'll see if either player does rush into an earlier lair, earlier tech. We'll see if Oliveira does open Stargate. And I'm curious, typically when a player off-races Protoss in this matchup, we often see Skytoss, to be honest. We often see a more standard opener into 3-base play, into like faster tech. But I'm not too certain what kind of player Oliveira is. It's possible he really enjoys Blink Stalker control and he could just go for a 3-base 8-gate all-in. It's possible. He could enjoy Glaive Adepts. Also possible. Here we go. Oh, and we have the answer. That I was not expecting. I was expecting Stargate opener, Twilight Counts opener. This is going to be a Robo opener out of Oliveira. This screams 2-base all-in. This screams 2-base all-in here from our Chinese Protoss player. And we'll see if Reynor can figure out what exactly is going on. Because if not, this can look like a truck. A Robo opener, so this could be one of two things. I'm feeling either a Soul Train with like mass Immortal Sentry, like an Immortal Sentry based all-in. Otherwise, this could be something crazy into a fast War Prism, maybe one Immortal into a Slow Lot all-in. It's been a while since we really experienced too many slow Lots all-ins. I think it's been a couple of months. I think we pointed it out, like I want to say last month, just because it's quite a rarity. There it is, Immortal production has begun. Extra gateways on the way. Going to be a 4-gate setup. Sorry, a 5-gate setup. 6 gateways even. Yeah, it's going to be a slow little in. Let's go. No, not like this. Again, this is a build that was invented by Haas. This was back in 2021, I think. It was Haas during the EPT regionals of Taiwan, Hong Kong. And yeah, there was like a small period in time where this was all the craze. Quite a number of years ago at this point. And, yeah, it's back. Aye. Again, who needs charge lots, Pappy, when the army comes to you? The slow lots, they're fast enough. Ah, no. As it is going to be a 7-gate setup here on 2 bases. Army moves out. This does hit quite fast. So far, nice control. Saves the Stalker, denies the Lings. And we are waiting for that warp in. As Oliveira, he's banking up those minerals. Shaving off those Lings. Once again, Reynor, he's delaying for as long as possible. Roach production has begun. Reynor cutting works at 39. Just massing up Lings and Roaches. Here we go, 7 Zealots at a time. Now, Oliveira, he did delay his warp in. There could have been like a warp in and a half here at this point. So Oliveira, he is missing Zealots. He's lacking Zealots, I should say. Lings, they come in from behind. They get us around on the Immortal. Zealots, they get on top of the Queens. But it looks like Oliveira just does not have enough. He did need that extra warp in. Again, he has 800 minerals in the bank. And there it is, the question mark. GG gets called. And with that, Reynor will take the series 2-1. GG. I love the cheeky smile. GG, well played. But again, Oliveira, he did delay his first warp in, so because of that, it was just like, it was an all-in that hit with half the size of the army. Unfortunately, he was banking resources. His Prism didn't really have the opportunity to siege up behind the army, so there were no reinforcements, and with that, the army was, again, half as big as it should have been there. GG. GG, well played. With that, Reynor does take the first series. Congratulations. That was a bit loud. My apologies. But GG, well played. Reynor, he will take the series, and with that, we'll move on to the winners match. Meanwhile, we're getting ready for our next match of the night. We do have 2 other competitors here in this group. It is a GSL format group, do not forget. So Oliveira, he gets knocked down to the elimination match. He's going to be facing off against the loser of our next series of Rogue versus Gumiho. Let's go. So up next is going to be a ZvT. I know we were having some fun with some off racing, but that should not be the case here. We should be seeing some main racers in main race, Zerg versus Terran, after the break. We're going to be going on a short break. When we come back, we'll have our next matchup. See you soon.